They move in shadows, speak in codes, and strike with precision. They don't wear names, they don't seek fame, and officially, they don't exist. This is the story of SEAL Team 6, America's most secret warriors, forged in the crucible of failure after a disastrous mission in the Iranian desert. They rose from the ashes to become the deadliest and most mysterious force in modern military history. Their story begins in 1980 with Operation Eagle Claw, a failed attempt to rescue 52 American hostages held in Tehran. The mission ended in catastrophe. 8 U.S. servicemen killed, helicopters destroyed, and national humiliation broadcast to the world. From that wreckage, the U.S. military realized it needed something new. A team trained for surgical, lightning-fast hostage rescues. Enter Richard Marcinko, a Vietnam War veteran and Navy SEAL with a reputation for rebellion. He was tasked with creating an elite unit that could fight terrorism with the same ferocity terrorists used. He named it SEAL Team 6, not because there were 5 other teams, but to confuse Soviet intelligence. Deception was built into their DNA from day one. Marcinko recruited hard. He didn't want perfect soldiers. He wanted wolves, aggressive, smart, ruthless. Men who could shoot, think, and adapt in chaos. The training was brutal. Live-fire drills, real explosives, sleep deprivation, and stress beyond anything in conventional military units. They weren't just building strength, they were rewiring brains. In the 1980s, Team 6 operated in the shadows. They trained with the CIA, collaborated with Delta Force, and executed missions the public never heard about. But they were also wild. Discipline wasn't always tight. They drank, brawled, and bent rules. Marcinko was eventually removed, but the monster he created lived on, evolving with every war America entered. After 9/11, everything changed. SEAL Team 6 was reborn, now part of the Joint Special Operations Command, or JSOC. They were given new funding, new tools, and a new mission to hunt down the most dangerous people on Earth. And they did, with ruthless efficiency, from the Yao caves of Tora Bora to the streets of Fallujah, from pirate ships off the Somali coast to compounds deep in Pakistan. SEAL Team 6 became a ghost force. They killed, captured, and disappeared. Their operations were surgical, deniable, and devastating. But this kind of power has a cost. SEAL Team 6's missions remain classified, but leaks and books have revealed troubling stories. Excessive force, mutilation of corpses, secret revenge killings. Inside the team, some say the line between hunter and killer began to blur, yet for many Americans, one mission defined them. May 1st, 2011, Operation Neptune Spear, Abbottabad, Pakistan. It was a moonless night when 2 Black Hawk helicopters lifted off from Afghanistan. Inside were members of SEAL Team 6's Red Squadron. Their target, Osama bin Laden. The raid was surgical. They flew low to avoid radar. One chopper crashed on landing, but no one was hurt. The team stormed the compound. Within 40 minutes, bin Laden was dead. DNA confirmed. Body buried at sea. The world cheered. The ghost of 9/11 had been slain. But that mission raised new questions. Who gave the order? Was bin Laden still a threat? Was this justice or just revenge? SEAL Team 6 returned to the shadows. But the mythology grew. Hollywood came calling. Zero Dark 30, books, interviews. Retired operators became celebrities. The unit, once secret, became a brand. Yet the real Team 6 remains hidden. No patch, no names, no confirmation. Just the whisper of rotors in the night. And a door kicked in before dawn. They are warriors built for a world without rules. Heroes to some. They called it Operation Red Wings. June 28, 2005. 4 Navy SEALs were dropped into the mountains of Kunar Province, Afghanistan. Their mission, to locate and kill a high-ranking Taliban leader known to be orchestrating attacks against U.S. forces. The team, Marcus Luttrell, Michael Murphy, Danny Dietz, and Matthew Axelson, hiked into hostile terrain. What followed would become one of the deadliest days in SEAL team history. The mission was compromised when 3 local goat herders stumbled upon the team's position. The SEALs had a choice: kill them and risk exposing the mission later, or let them go and risk everything. They let them go. Within hours, more than 100 Taliban fighters descended upon the mountain. The fight was brutal. Axelson and Dietz were killed. Murphy, shot multiple times, climbed into the open to radio for help. He died holding the line. Only Marcus Luttrell survived, crawling for hours through the rocks, eventually rescued by Afghan villagers who risked their lives to protect him. A quick reaction force of 8 more SEALs and 8 Army Night Stalkers flew in to help, but their Chinook helicopter was hit by an RPG. All 16 aboard were killed. It was the worst single-day loss in SEAL history. Operation Red Wings exposed both the heroism and the vulnerability of America's elite, but it also sparked transformation. SEAL Team 6 doubled down. Training got harder. Intelligence sharing got tighter. Missions became even more secretive. The enemy was adapting, so the SEALs had to evolve faster. By 2006, JSOC's global footprint was growing. They were no longer just hunters. They were network destroyers. They mapped terrorist organizations like living organisms, then attacked the brain, the spine, the nerves. This required more than gunfights. It demanded cyber warfare, financial tracking, psychological operations, and yes, lethal force when needed. SEAL Team 6 became not just warriors but weapons of influence. They operated with drone support, satellite tracking, and ground intelligence from CIA operatives and foreign allies. A mission could begin with a whisper in a Kabul market and end with a door being kicked down in Yemen. The results were staggering. Hundreds of high-value targets eliminated. Al-Qaeda's networks shattered. But as the wins piled up, so did the controversies. Reports surfaced of kill lists, of raids with no prisoners, of bodies left behind in ruined homes. Some missions sparked investigations, others were buried. Internally, SEAL Team 6 struggled with the psychological toll. Rotations were relentless. Combat never ended. Marriages fell apart. Operators returned home with scars no doctor could see. Some spoke out. Others self-destructed. The price of greatness was becoming unbearable. Still, the missions kept coming. Somalia, 2012. A rescue mission to save 2 hostages held by pirates. Parachuting into the dark, crossing miles of desert, breaching a compound under moonlight. Hostages saved. Enemies neutralized. No SEALs lost. Yemen, 2014. A risky operation to retrieve an American journalist. The intel was shaky. The enemy was ready. The raid failed. The hostage was executed. The SEALs barely made it out. Success and failure danced together in every operation. Each mission a gamble, with lives on the line. Back in the States, the SEAL brand became cultural legend. Books, movies, video games, young men lined up to join. But most would never make it past Bud S, the brutal basic underwater demolition Army SEAL. Training, Hell Week, drown-proofing, log PT, freezing surf torture. It wasn't about strength, it was about will. SEALs aren't born, they're forged in pain, pressure, and absolute commitment. Inside SEAL Team 6, the standards were even. Higher operators needed not just physical dominance, but mental agility, cultural awareness, and emotional detachment. You had to kill without hesitation, and live with it forever. They used advanced simulators, mock villages, language immersion, even live tissue training. Every skill, every second, practiced until instinct replaced thought. In the field, failure wasn't an option. Pakistan, Libya, Syria, Ukraine. SEAL Team 6 was everywhere and nowhere. They stopped terror plots, captured warlords, eliminated threats before they reached American shores. But with so much power came blurred lines. Operators began wearing unofficial patches, skulls, daggers, symbols of rebellion. Some commanders warned, "We're not gods, we're tools." But others leaned into the myth. The unit was growing in capability, but losing something deeper. The balance between duty and darkness. 2017. A mission in Yemen goes wrong. Civilians are caught in the crossfire. The Pentagon launches an inquiry. Operators are cleared, but whispers of recklessness grow louder. Back home, retired SEALs face new battles, PTSD, addiction, identity loss. Their war never ended, it just changed terrain. Today, SEAL Team 6 remains a paradox, feared by enemies, revered by allies, questioned by critics. They have killed the world's most dangerous men, but what did it cost them? They have saved countless lives, but who saves them? Their missions are secret, their burden is not. This is SEAL Team 6, forged in failure, reborn in fire, haunted by victory. They live in the shadows, and they carry them too. SEAL Team 6 wasn't born to be famous. It was born to be feared. But over the years, the shadows they lived in began to glow with public curiosity and government scrutiny. After Operation Neptune Spear, the raid that killed Osama bin Laden, Washington had a problem. The world now knew who SEAL Team 6 was. They had done the impossible. But exposure is a double-edged sword. Politicians praised them. The media chased them. Movie deals were signed. But inside the unit, something began to fracture. The secrecy that had once protected them started to feel like a prison. They couldn't talk about their work, but the world was talking for them. Some operators broke silence, writing books, giving interviews, consulting on Hollywood films. Others called it betrayal. Lines blurred. Was it service or self-promotion? The brass at JSOC tightened the leash. Gag orders, NDAs, quiet reassignments. But the damage was done. SEAL Team 6 wasn't a ghost anymore. It was a legend, and legends attract attention. Meanwhile, missions continued. North Africa, hostage recovery, Congo, high-value kill, Venezuela. Surveillance op on cartel-linked terror cells. The battlefield had expanded, and so had the enemy. No longer just Al-Qaeda. Now it was ISIS, Hezbollah, Russian proxies, Iranian Quds Force, narco-terrorists, rogue states with cyber armies, private militias with billion-dollar backing. SEAL Team 6 had to adapt, again. They integrated tech like never before. AI-driven, intel filtering, real-time drone support, augmented reality overlays and night vision systems, neural enhancement studies, biomonitoring implants. But with every advancement, the stakes grew. In 2019, a classified operation in Eastern Europe reportedly stopped a bioweapon shipment. Details are sealed. But whispers say it involved a private lab, a rogue scientist, and a kill order greenlit at the highest level. In 2020, a joint mission with MI6 disrupted a cyber attack planned to take down NATO communications. The SEALs weren't just warriors anymore. They were guardians of the global order. But inside, cracks were forming. Mental health crises surged. Counseling wasn't enough. Some operators turned to pills, others to silence, a few to suicide. One team member wrote anonymously, "You can only kill so many men before you stop being one. Even the most elite warriors bleed, sometimes from wounds no one can see." 2021, Kabul fell. The withdrawal was chaos. SEAL Team 6 was deployed not for combat, but for extraction. Diplomats, allies, orphans. The mission was messy, tense, desperate. A suicide bomber struck Abbey Gate. 13. American troops killed. Over 170 Afghans dead. SEAL Team 6 helped pull survivors from the rubble. Their hands stained with dust and blood, not from war, but from trying to save what was left. The team returned home to silence. No parade, no press, just the knowledge that they were the last to leave. By 2022, the geopolitical chessboard had changed again. China tested US resolve in Taiwan. Russia invaded Ukraine. Iran raced toward nuclear capability. North Korea launched more missiles. The world was fraying at the edges, and in the shadows, SEAL Team 6 stood ready. Not as heroes, not as monsters, but as the blade America keeps hidden until the moment it must strike. They trained in Arctic survival, urban siege tactics, cyber infiltration, Language immersion in Farsi, Mandarin, Russian. They rehearsed scenarios that would make movies flinch, but the toll was real. One former commander said, "They're not gods. They're men we ask to play God." Some started to ask, is there a point where elite becomes too much? When warriors become weapons, and then just tools? Others believe the opposite, that only through these shadows can peace survive. Today, the official position is silence. Missions are classified, records sealed, faces blurred, but make no mistake, SEAL Team 6 is still out there, still training, still adapting, still walking into the places others run from. Their story is not over, because history has never stopped needing men like these. They are the silent edge of American power, unseen, unheard, unmatched. SEAL Team 6.